Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another live stream. Um, Sorry for being a little bit later than usual. Uh, to be honest, I've just haven't done so many streams in a row in a while, so like I didn't necessarily have too much that I was able to put together. But I do have a few things I'd like to talk about. Um, and then yeah, you know, it's just a little bit of a shorter day. If anybody's got a recommendation, maybe we'll go longer. But yeah, we're gonna start with the H3 Reddit. Even on there, I don't have that much to look at. But thank you to everybody that stopped in. I really appreciate it. Wow, thank you so much. The regular schmegulas. Uh, but now, the first thing I wanted to look at. Um, Someone posted this and said it's also worth noting that Ethan did not threaten to kill us because looking into the, I think this was a part of the Doe's I forget what it's called. Duplicate this. Um, Declaration. I think it was the Declaration of Doe's. Um, and invoking the thriller movie Taken, he equated the subpoena process with a personal manhunt. This is my Taken moment. I will find you. I have a very specific set of skills. All the people who are clutching their pearls, saying they're threatening online moderators for just moderating a subreddit, and he's threatening to dox. Who and wait, and he's threatening to dox them. It's not a dox, you dumbass. It's called a subpoena. It's part of every civil lawsuit. It's the most routine thing in the world. And guess what happened? And guess what happens when you break the fucking law? When you harass? When you defame? Then you open yourself up to being subpoenaed. Now what happens? Now what happens with that information? I don't know. The unfortunate thing is that court filings are all public, so if their private information shows up there, then I literally can't help it. I like that they're pointing this out as if to say, like, see, he's saying that like my information's going to be public. See, is this him saying that like he's telling people like go look for the information, go look for the, because like I don't know how public that information would be. Like, anyways, I mean, maybe let's get their medical records. Is it really lupus? How's everyone doing? Do I just search H3 Reddit? Is that bad or good? What do you mean? I go to the H3 Reddit and scroll through it, try and find the best of the posts, the most relevant to my streams. But if you're looking for it, just Google it. But then Ethan Klein purports to sue us for copyright infringement. But in his own words, the reason he issued these subpoenas is because he believes we harassed and defamed him. What? Where do you have that stated? But in his own words, the reason he issued these subpoenas is because he believes we harassed and defamed him. You didn't quote that part. You showed this longer quote, but have not shown an example. You said see Volek declaration, example 25. I don't know if that's. Oh, that was okay. So that is in the declaration of. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Actually, what it's talking about, because I want to see this quote. I want to see what quote they actually use. Um, 25. 25 is gonna be. EX. 25. Ooh. No, no, no. I'm sorry I keep doing that. Doe Declaration 196. Oh, no, wait, sorry. Oh wait, so this is a different one. No, I'm okay. Never mind. This is gonna take too long. But it's also worth noting that Ethan omitted the last part of the famous quote from the movie Taken. I don't know who you are, but I will find you, and I will kill you. Finally, he celebrated the prospect of destroying my professional and academic future. The H3 Snark moderators are professionals. They have serious jobs. They're part of an elite educational program, and they all have quite a lot to lose. Okay. But those were the parts that were relevant. But one part I don't want anyone to forget is this part, because this is still the funniest thing to come out of this. I fear that Ethan will resort to illegal tactics after this, and I have no reason to believe that Ethan and Ela Klein will ever stop targeting us. This harassment is relentless, and I do not believe it will ever truly end. Ethan is willing to do anything to destroy our lives and has explicitly stated so on his podcast. Ethan owns a firearm and reportedly has a net worth exceeding $100 million. I sincerely believe that if he had the opportunity, Ethan Klein would not hesitate to kill me. That sounds like the claims of a sane person. Like, what does this mean? This is like literally really unhinged. I sincerely believe that if he had the opportunity, what does that mean? If we were in the forest alone and nobody would know it was him, I think he'd do it. That's what you're thinking about? I'm so confused. No way Ethan is worth 100 million. Is that even what his purported net worth is? I feel like that's not even true. Ethan Klein net worth 20 million. They didn't even do their due diligence here. It says that he's probably worth about. It says, oh, him and Ela, Ethan and his wife Ela Klein, are estimated to be around $20 million jointly. And this person's saying on his own, Ethan's worth over $100 million. Where is this reported? He's rich. Oh no. Snarkers live in their own fantasy world. No, I swear, this is like... I don't understand how this is the... Like, everything about every single one of the arguments they make is completely false and faulty and weak, and... I'm suing these three creators. This is a good read, I have to say. Ethan's net worth is probably like 6 or 7 million. I mean, yeah. I mean, everybody. I think people assume like, well, because it said what that they're I don't know how you'd break it down though, like through depreciation, other things like what you'd have to add up all their cars, their house, the companies. How do you even get like a company like worth estimation? Because that would Would that not be part of his? I guess that wouldn't be part of his net worth. Something he owns. Could you take it from him in a lawsuit? I want the podcast. I guess I haven't had enough money to actually think about what net worth includes. Oh, yes, net worth do include businesses, whether for an individual who owns a business or the net worth of the business itself. Yeah, so you'd have to figure out the company's worth, include that into their net worths. But then also, like, you'd probably figure out... It'd be difficult. It really would. Yo, what's Teddy Fresh worth? Is Teddy Fresh worth? It's not publicly disclosed, but the estimated annual revenue is around $7.7 million, and that's just revenue. With specific valuations unavailable, recent data shows the e-commerce site generates a monthly online sales revenue of approximately just under $500,000, 500,000. That's just an AI overview. That's just some probably that's not going to be accurate, especially because it literally said that they don't have an actual estimation. I remember my 4th grade teacher would make us mispronounce the days of the week. I always think of Wednesday as Wednesday. So true. Can I sue Ethan and all I win is something from Teddy Fresh, because that shipping and conversion to Canada is killer. I want TF so bad, but I don't have the funds. It's exactly my taste. You got to just wait until someone drops a piece off. You'll just keep going to your local thrift stores. You'll find some from Fallen Fans. Giving up all my Teddy Fresh. Or go act homeless. Maybe Hassan will walk by, give you some. I do like the idea of him being like, these clothes suck. These clothes are so fucking goofy. Let me go give them to some homeless people. But then also the homeless people looking at it and being like, bro, I don't want streetwear. Because it's like, a lot of it's like kind of fashion, like fashion styled. They're homeless. They want functionality. Get them some cargo pants. Get them one of those shirts that has like 20 pockets in the front. They'll love that. Oh my god, I did it again. I coughed, and I swear it's like there's ash in my lungs. Okay, I'm fine now. My eyes are only watering a little bit. Taylor, don't believe your eyes, believe media. Not believing women continued. Sorry, I was confused as to what this meant in the moment, but yeah, not believing women continued. Couldn't help myself, to be honest. Poor BB don't know. I'm just a little. I'm kind of. I'm a little taken aback by the way that they shortened certain words, but then not others. I don't know. Something about that. But apparently this person, Phenom, said, now that TwitchCon is over, I will give a couple thoughts and go more into them on stream once I return. Keep in mind, it was my first TwitchCon. Security. Holy fuck, non-existent. The amount of incel freak shit towards women I've seen this week is fucking ridiculous. I promise you, if you just be a normal person, women would like you more. I think that's so true. Everybody needs to remember, it's not... Like, here's what I've been trying to tell, like, my friends that just have no game. It's not about having game. You should treat everybody the same and talk to everybody as if you're just having a genuine conversation with no ulterior motive. Because if you are interested in that person, why would you act as if there's like an ulterior motive? You just be friendly to them. And if they reciprocate and show like, a little bit more interest in you, that's when you follow it up and you keep, you go down that line. But I swear, people are like, I'm shooting my shot at this person, at this girl I know, and it's like, well, do you know them that well? Well, we work together. That doesn't mean anything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like, when she's bringing, when I'm bringing back dishes to the dish pit, and I see her cutting vegetables, I'm like, hey, what's up? And she's like, oh, hey. So I think we're pretty chill. I think we're pretty close. I think it might be a good time to ask her on a date. No, no, it's not a good time to ask her on a date because I think people forget. Like people go like, oh, people don't like that anymore. Back in the day, you could just ask a random girl on a date. Yeah, that did happen a lot more in the past, but I still don't think that was like necessarily the best, like that had the best outcomes for the women or the men involved in those dates. You know what I mean? It's a very oppressive system that's only going to result in a not fun time. Whoa, Alex the Fiction's in here. I saw you on Loner Box earlier. Alex the Tugger, for real. Um, who's going to TwitchCon 2026? No game required. See, I don't think that I have like a ton of game, but that's the whole thing. I think that you don't need game. You don't need to be like super suave or super cool. I think I am super suave and super cool, but that's besides the point. What I'm saying is, everybody has their own little quirks and their own little, their own little, things that make them them, and you want to lean into those to a degree and see what like appeals to people and what doesn't. Both in a relationship and just interpersonally. Because if all you're doing is focusing on the relationship aspect, you're not becoming a better person, and that should be your main focus. Become a better person first. Some would say the suavest. You're right. Um, Rum Tum Tugger, I only hear your name in Nate's voice, not in my own inner voice. Only Nate's. Um, who needs game when you can be weird and off-putting? Hey, that works too sometimes. But again, that's the whole thing. Is uh, what you want to do is be as much like be as open as possible, be as yourself as possible, while also understanding where others' boundaries lie. Because if you don't care about people's boundaries, then you're never going to be able to have a good relationship with anyone. But people's boundaries shouldn't like prevent you from being able to act in the ways that make you feel good. If I want to spend 45 minutes talking about Gex 3 for PlayStation 1, if that's what I want to do for 45 minutes and we have a conversation, hey, that's what I'm going to do. And you're going to learn about, my little niche interests. And I hope you interject with yours. And that's why I've been in a relationship for 7 years. I had to remember what anniversary we had this year. That's how long it's been. But autistic swag and homosexual looks usually does it for me. I have been hit on by more men than women, so maybe that is what does it. I somehow have unintentional game, but I solved that by not talking to people. Oh, I wanted to say this now that Alex is in here. I wanted to say this because I was watching. Alex just did an interview with Lonerbox. It's coming out soon, and in the interview, at a point, Alex and Lonerbox talk about the use of the R word. And I thought it was so interesting that Lonerbox literally almost verbatim said that the point that I've made, that the word itself derives from the medical usage and using that to be derogatory. So if we just keep going down the line, we're going to end up using the words like neurodivergent and whatever comes after that to be derogatory and like, you know, rude to people that we are trying to dismiss the intelligence of. And my whole point, my whole perspective is that's why we shouldn't be trying to diminish people for their intelligence levels and more for their ignorance and like arrogance and stuff like that, because it is kind of just it's an easy cop out to just call someone stupid. It's harder to explain why they're being like where their ignorance lies, and I think that that's like a harder a harder thing to a bigger umbrage on you. But the other point I was going to make, what was I going to say? There was another point to that was involving the loner box discussion specifically. I'm trying to remember the points he was making. Oh, that was what it was. That's why I don't necessarily have a problem with like using like when people talk about ableism, like that's what he was talking when specifically talking about the R word and using like other ableist terms. But I think that saying something like autistic tendencies comes off like when you're talking about like in when you're not talking about an individual or like dismissing like somebody outright, but you're talking about like idiosyncrasies or certain things like that. I do think that that's probably less bad. But again, it's like drawing upon something because what you are saying at the end of the day is you are like these people with diminished intelligence, with diminished capacities, and therefore you are bad. But those people are not bad for their diminished capacities. They are bad because of their arrogance on top of the ignorance and where that ignorance lies. Stupid is a choice, in my opinion, for the most part. Dog whistly. You think like saying when people just say stupid over and over again, it's dog whistly? I guess it could be. I feel like it's baked into a lot of people's vernacular, though. At least in America nowadays, just calling stuff dumb. But even that, like lame used to mean like paraplegic. Like lame used to mean your legs couldn't work, and people would say that and be like, because it was probably like a thing about people being lazy. Oh, you don't want to get off the couch and come with me? Oh, why are you being lame? That makes sense. But again, it's being used as a form of ableism. And those ableist terms do kind of and again, it's like diminishing a person for that is in turn diminishing the like other people of that group, regardless of how specific you're being. And no to the autistic tendencies thing, dog whistling. See, I'm just saying I don't think that it's good. I just think that it's not as bad. Like when someone and I guess I'm specifically talking about it when people use it for themselves. If somebody was using it for somebody else, yeah, it's kind of again, I just think using things to diminish others is probably wrong. I'd rather be called stupid because I know I'm not, but the R slur technically that I am, as I'm autistic. But again, what I'm saying is the word like idiot. I don't know if stupid is specifically, but I know idiot for sure was an IQ term. Moron was an IQ term. Those were like IQ levels, and so those words were like co-opted for the use of being ableist. And now those have just become commonplace around the world, and it's all wrong. Yeah, he was kind of leaning towards the argument that, well, it's not as bad as other slurs, and that argument is just so fucking weird to me. Um, I've seen plenty of people not use the R word, be hella ableist in more serious ways. Most snarkers don't use the word yet make fun of Ethan's Tourette's. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not about like the methodology, right? Doesn't matter how easy it is. It's all the same. It's all meant for the same purpose. It's just the easiest cop out, right? It's the easiest form of ableism. Uh, but moving on, I suppose. I'm not ableist, I swear. I love all people for who they are, and I believe to treat every person as an individual. Um, yeah, because they're assholes. Yeah, it doesn't matter to them how they're being assholes as long as they can be assholes. I get what you're saying, but the way words are used now are different to intended before. I know, but that's what I'm saying is eventually it'll just keep moving down the line. And yeah, curse words off. Exactly, internet tough guy. It's curse words off time. But, and that's why the conversation is it's complicated because like I'm saying, most of those things come from ableism. Swears don't. Saying fuck, saying some shit real quick. Talk about a quick ass. What do we have planned today? Well, we're still just talking about ass and and ableism. But then we have an H3 Snark update and some Sam Pepper stuff. Manners on. Thank you, Internet Tough Guy. Internet Tough Guy setting order in chat. Just stop using the R word until we reach a word people are socially acceptable with. I thought neurodivergent was the word that people was like the new, at least. I don't even know if it's medical, actually. I just thought that was the new term that was being used widely. Or actually, I think never mind. Now that I think about it, I think I have actually heard people say that neurodivergent. There's issues with that because neurotypical use the use of the word typical or something. I think there was like an issue with that. I'm trying to remember. Ever since Zach sampled the quartering, I like the insult crotch rot. See, it's kind of like you have to figure out ways to insult people without using immutable traits. That's kind of the crux of the argument here. We got to figure out ways to insult people and hurt them at the core without making fun of their immutable traits. We can figure it out. I know we have the capabilities. We have the brain power. Yeah, using slurs is lazy. There is always better words than you can use than any slur. No, yeah, I think I think slurs are often at this point because some people just use them lazily too, but I think they're often just used because people are to the point of frustration and know they can't argue anything else, and they just want to do like a nuke. They know like slurs work as like a nuke to end all arguments. Need to make it real personal. What did I walk into? Crotch rot is a choice. Crotch rot it's a good one. Crotch rot does fit a little bit because I imagine crotch rot is something that you kind of you could probably take the precautions to avoid crotch rot. But maybe some people's crotches just be rotten. You know what I mean? Can we blame them for that? We're supposed to love everybody, guys. We can't blame somebody for crotch rot all the time. Now, if they're just dirty, eh. Like that's why that's why when I talk about Ian, I stick to him looking malnourished, him looking under like like he's missing nutrients because it's like he just needs to eat a steak, eat some salmon, eat some salmon real quick, maybe some tuna. Get some fish oils in your system, my friend. But sorry, I just wanted the longest. I just wanted the longest tangent ever. We went on like 3 or 4 tangents at the end. Um, I'm just epic and cool. So true, internet tough guy. I believe you wholeheartedly. So based and correct as always. Kelsey, what did Kelsey say? Hey y'all, just coming in, but I think slurs are bad and we shouldn't say them. Wow. You know, I'm gonna be the first to say it. Slurs are bad. God damn it! Every time, every time, every first one I do, every first hit that I do wrong. Oh, it sounded really loud in my headphones. Turn it down just a little bit. Perfect. Um, 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 um. We know Ian has crotch rot breath. Crotch rot breath. That's a good one as well. Based. I have a
Based?
Rich Lux. I think slurs are words. That's also true. Be careful with that one though. They're not just words, but you didn't say that. They are words. That is, I mean, that is true as well. You know, some people will say like, "Oh, they're just words. They're just words." Like, let me come make fun of let me come make fun of like a relative right after they've died or something right in front of you. Like you would break down. The idea that words don't carry some kind of emotional weight is I think one of the weakest arguments. They are words technically. That's so true. They are made up of letters. They are made up of letters. Should they be? Now we're asking the questions. Should slurs even be made up of letters? They don't deserve it. We have fun here, don't we, folks? Just having a good time. Got to do a little trolling, but yeah, I'm not saying that slurs are just words. Words have a lot of power. Yeah, I think it's the weakest argument. Thanks for clarifying, Ethan. Don't need you getting dogpiled. We love all the Ethans here. You all make me feel so at home. So true, Alex. Yeah, it's dumb as hell. Words obviously hold meaning. Like that's how we communicate as humans. Um, but here we go. Let me just restart this whole thing because I'm sorry. We needed to talk about relationships. We needed to talk about slurs. We needed to talk about ableism. We needed to talk about we had to get it out there. We had to make sure that it was said. I think about these things too much. It's all rattling around in my brain. I've got to let it out. You are my sounding board. Thank you. But here is what Phenom said. Phenom, yes, Phenom official, and we're going to hear a bit of Taylor Lorenz's response. Um, Now that TwitchCon is over, I will give a couple thoughts to go more into them on stream once I return. Keep in mind, it was my first TwitchCon. Security, holy fuck, non-existent. The amount of incel freak shit towards women I've seen this week is fucking ridiculous. I promise you, if you just be a normal person, women will like you more. IRL streaming specifically talking about the clip farming. Or IRL streaming specifically talking about the clip farmers. That shit is so corny and unethical as fuck. IRL streaming is good and has brought a lot of good, but you can see how it can easily be ruined with this shift in streaming right now. I'm really confused about that point. IRL streaming is corny. It's unethical. What do you mean it's unethical? I guess It depends on the type of IRL streaming, because yeah, I think people that just go out just to try and get like a rise out of people in public, yeah, that's probably an unethical form of IRL streaming. But if you're just going out and like keeping it on yourself, hey guys, what's up? I'm going to the movie theaters today, but I'm not recording the screen. I'm gonna turn off the audio so you guys can just see my reaction to the film. You guys can turn it on and it's like we're watching it together side by side. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what they mean by this point. But now I will say I had so much fun and an amazing TwitchCon experience with my friends. But looking from a different POV, I could see how this con was miserable for a lot of people, and it's looking bad for next year for it to return. But if y'all do at Twitch, y'all got a lot of work on. Y'all got a lot to work on. This could have been written a lot better. What did I just hear? I think we're okay. Yeah, it definitely can be unethical, but it's not inherently unethical. I think that's probably the best way to explain it. Hassan just went live. Just an FYI for all the Hasanabi heads in here. Yeah, this was actually a Hassan waiting room. I heard someone did that in Denim's chat and then got banned. It's like, what do you think they're there for? What do you mean? Um, but Taylor Lorenz responded and said, "You guys all need to start living in reality. It's simply false to say that security at TwitchCon was non-existent when it was so insanely strict that journalists couldn't even do their jobs and disabled people were forced to remove masks, etc. I'm making a longer video on this." Why were they being forced to remove their masks? To identify themselves? Oh, okay. That makes sense. I'm sure there's many in here. There's got to be a little bit of crossover. I hope I'm silly enough to. I hope I'm silly and goofy enough to keep at least some of them in. Come on, guys. I'm more handsome than Hassan.
Stupid sexy Hassan. Why do all the girls like him?
Listen to me ramble and go on and on about shit. What happened to Emiru was unacceptable, but to claim the security was non-existent is just absolutely untrue. There were police all over, total surveillance, and you couldn't roam anywhere. I think Brett put it well. Was there an extension of this? No. I wanted to see what that one was. I spoke to guys with huge-ass backpacks on the con floor. With huge-ass backpacks on the con floor. I was trying to make sure that it wasn't somewhere else on this page. I spoke to guys with huge-ass backpacks on the con floor who told me security told us we weren't going to be allowed in with these bags, so we walked a few doors down and came in through another door and no one batted an eye. I would caution against believing anything someone says without confirming it's the truth. But did that guy have something that shouldn't have been allowed in that bag? I'm not understanding your point. The rule was no large bags, and they had large bags in the convention center that I saw. That's the issue. But like, if you didn't see any guns, who cares if someone threatened you about having one? Who cares if someone said, hey, you don't want me to pull this out? You didn't actually see it, did you? Journalistic integrity. Taylor's mask during the Dan Clancy interview was 100% because of his BO. The interview is mind-numbing. I haven't seen that. What is she asking him about? How can anyone who actually watched that take her seriously ever again? I don't know. The Emiru stuff really is just so crazy, and the fact that she could be like, it's terrible. That's terrible that happened, but security was on site. And I saw Emiru actually did say what I was saying, where that she had to be the one to like basically let everybody know, hey, this happened to me. You guys might not want to do your stuff. just to be safe. Like, it's so crazy that the convention didn't like themselves handle it in any way. It was a successful TwitchCon. Close your eyes, shut your mouth, and cover your ears. You won't be able to have a problem then. Oh, he grabbed you too? Oh, shit. Bro, you gotta watch it. Dan blames Emaru for not banning the guy that assaulted her from her community. That is a strat, bro. What? Where can I find this? Did you do anything on it, Gizmo? Where is it? Let me look it up. Dan Clancy. Oh, it's 27 minutes. Maybe we'll watch this whole thing. I don't know if I'll be able to get through it though. I might just control F ban in it, but let's finish up looking at her tweets real quick. I'm not understanding your point. Don't bother with this. Just other people replying. And then this was just a little funny thing. The hawk to a sound by infected Dan's professional correspondence. I'm still not sure I understand how this could have happened without the exchange of any money. I'm still not sure I understand how this could have happened without the exchange of any money. Is it really your company's policy to ship something like this to someone without any verifiable payment information? If so, I hope this incident has shown the potential for abuse by bad actors, and you'll make adjustments to prevent this from happening to others in the future. Anywho, I can't do it. I'll keep an eye out for the shipping label and get these sent back to you ASAP. This was about the skulls. The skulls. She posted a clip on her Twitter that's shorter. Here, let me see. Thank you. Twitter. Let me see if the Control F thing works. Honestly, I've been pretty good at it. I've been pretty good at finding my points that I need. Banned. Oh, it's in there. It's in there somewhere. Wait, I think I got it. Did they say Emaru's name specifically? Emaru. Oop.
Yesterday, Emaru get assaulted by a male fan, and a lot of streamers have, especially female streamers, have talked about, the danger that they feel from these sort of toxic, I guess, parasocial kind of creeps. What are you guys doing?
The clip on her Twitter is all I need to see, really. Is it easily accessible? I just know she tweets a lot, so I don't know if it's going to be like buried down in her stuff. Taylor's runs first. Dislike it? Oh, so true. I'm basically at the timestamp. Is this it? I'm going to just watch it.
To prioritize safety, because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year, just in case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
Yeah, so the safety of our creators is the top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch, it extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can, make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there. When I use other short form content and people say all sorts of stuff. Well, I can't stop that. But when I live stream, they basically don't bother me. Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that we care deeply about, securing this environment. You know, we're looking very closely at everything that happened there. And I care deeply about Emmy. She's a friend of mine. And so I want to see how we can support her to do that. But this is just something we have to keep working on. I think everyone identifies our tools in terms of trust and safety as the leaders in the industry about helping creators, but that means there's always more work to be done. Because
this is cut up, but he really does speak in run-on sentences. It is just crazy to like here's the thing. Like, I love you, chat. You're great people. I don't know any of you. Some of you could be actually like insane. I don't know. You know what I mean? Give me a Howie Mandel fist bump if you ever see me in public. Give me a Howie Mandel fist bump to the dome, to the side of the head. Do it to me. Clothesline me. Do it. Run up and clothesline me. Do it. But do not give me a hug. And do anything but give me a hug. I do think putting that on the streamer, though, to be like, ban this person. I mean, even if they're like banned, like they might not be in the chat, they could go on like another account or use something else, or watch the re-uploads on YouTube or something. You know, like they could figure out ways to watch the content and still be invested in this person without watching their streams. You know, they could be like, why are you assuming this guy who was just like a chatter? Dan Clancy is just Gary Klein with long hair and a hat. It's so true. It's Gary if he didn't have Donna.
that's the world we live in now.
Demi had posted earlier today that I guess this fan was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon.
Hey, I'm not hating on Gary. I'm just saying that old man be gooning. Both of their For You pages probably look identical.
And why should, I guess, streamers trust Twitch to keep them safe at TwitchCon? Because I feel like simultaneously this has been such a secure event to the point that even like journalists have had struggled. Like, you know, it is very secure. But, you know, here's this man that just walks up and is somehow able to bypass all these things. So why should they trust the platform when slip-ups or, you know, issues like this have happened?
Right. Well,
that's not even a good question to ask. That's like the worst question to ask in that. What? Why should people trust the platform when you can't even, when you're in your secure? What does that have to do with the platform itself? Yes, that tells you something about the like about their team that set up this event, their event coordination team or whatever. It shows you that their security team on hand was not doing a good job. But honestly, it doesn't say a whole lot about the platform itself. Why should we trust the platform? It's not like they were allowing people to come do this. They just did not set up the precautions to prevent it.
I mean, as you know, I think you toured some of what we do in terms of security. The reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is putting themselves out there.
Dan Clancy looks much older than he actually is. How old is he?
Right. And so, you know, we try to work very closely with each creator about what they want to do and what works for them. So I don't want to get...
He's 61. What do you mean? When you said that, I thought he was going to be like 40 or something. I was going to be like, whoa. But he looks 60. He looks decent for 60. He's 61.
Get into any,
I thought he was 25.
Specifics or details, but part of that is working with creators and, you know, trying to find them. Right now, we're definitely, you know, ramping it up to make sure creators know that we have the resources there to help them figure out what's right for them.
We've also seen this record assault on free speech by the Trump administration. And
did she not have separate audio? She has mics on both of them. Why didn't she cut out this audio of him? Oh, this is terrible.
it's right for them.
We've also seen this record assault on free speech by the Trump administration and efforts to increasingly target online speech, obviously targeting platforms like yours. What are you doing to protect freedom of expression on the internet?
The good news is so far, I think we already were in a slightly different place. We have a set of community guidelines that focus not on what you say, but how you say it, okay? And we're very serious about trying to figure out how to apply those consistently across. And so far, we have not had any challenges in terms of the areas you're talking about. I think.
Didn't you just get called to like a session meeting about like extremism on your platform?
That's in part because, we've always been sort of balanced in terms of that. And I think there's something about live that makes it, less prone to some of the challenges that happen on other platforms.
They tried to, for some reason, involve you guys in the Charlie Kirk stuff, wanted to haul you in front of Congress. I think that hearing is sort of indefinitely postponed. But are you doing anything to sort of proactively ensure that you can sort of protect?
I mean, the fact that they even wanted to talk to him, it's like, it's not, somehow they lumped you in with the Charlie Kirk thing. Charlie Kirk was assassinated, so they were trying to talk. They were trying to do something about extremism online, which does seem like the problem in a lot of these cases. Like with that killer that shot up the Catholic school. Like people were saying, like, oh, it's transgender ideology and this and that, when in reality that person was actually just like mentally unwell and like thought that like literally. I remember I was deep diving into like all the videos that she made and like all the different like little stuff, and like it was like there was a demon inside. There was literally like a picture where like that they drew of her looking into a mirror, and on the other side of the mirror was a demon with a gun on its back with like a big like it was terrifying. Like it was genuinely like the scrawlings of a mad person. And I don't know. Bewilders me that people still want to act like it's this one specific it's not any specific ideology. It's the fact that extremism is then it becomes like an echo chamber online, and people get like roped into these like extremist views. But we're not going to watch this whole thing because it's about Dan Clancy. Why would I want to hear what he's got to say, or Taylor Lorenz? He's got 200,000 subscribers. Wow, I wouldn't have expected that. Hey, she's pumping them videos out. Dan Clancy looked like he's trying 10 different looks maxing tutorials. He looks like he like is trying everything he can to look young, when in reality the best thing you can do to look young is to try and look your age. Because if you try and look your age, you're gonna be taking like a care of you're gonna be like, I don't know, there's something about it where it won't make you look like you're 20, but instead of 60 you'll look like you're 50, you know. Those views are botted? You think so? Here, let me take a look. Taylor Lorenz. Let me look at her page again. Click one like this. See, I think she is becoming more in the public eye, so I'm not as surprised by certain things. I was looking at like the ratios between likes and comments and views and stuff. Didn't seem too off. So either she has like a pretty good system or they're genuine. I could believe it. People, I feel like some people watch content on YouTube and it just kind of filters through. It's not necessarily something that they're invested in. It kind of just is like whatever's on in the background. So I could see her being something like that. Because the stuff she talks about is kind of like nonsensical anyways. Aging is a blessing. And no one could pull that look off. I don't think so. Damn, thanks for checking, LMAO. Got to do our research, you know. I'm a journalist. But let's check out this video from LUS. It's called Ethan Klein versus Snark. Oh my god, let me try that again. Let's check out this new video from LUS. It's titled Ethan Klein versus H3 Snark. Ethan Klein's response to H3 Snark is perfect. Let's see how perfect it is.
So I got done reading all that was filed. It's a very long read, but I finally finished. And my conclusion is, it is very ironic that H3 Snark mods, they are most afraid of what they actually did to Ethan and Hilla. So I'm going to just say it. I feel really bad for those two. I'm not, I've not experienced anything to the abuse that they have, and I would call it abuse. I do think a lot of what I'm glad they got the ability to respond publicly. Of course, they have a public platform, but this is a legal response, and keep that in mind.
Damn, that's the video I was watching before joining in. You just have to give your opinion, Sam. You have to let us know. Let us know what you think. Then, it's not all for naught.
And it will be in court documents, and it will be published, and is easily accessible to anyone who wants to read it. So my main takeaway is H3 Snark on one hand, and I'm going to show you their complaints. On one hand, very concerned about their own privacy.
Did he just burp?
Is
Listen closely.
H3 Snark on one hand, and I'm going to show you their complaints. On one hand, very concerned about their own privacy, how it will affect their lives if their names are made public. But they have little to no concern over how they have adversely affected Ethan Klein and Hilla's life, which, again, they go into details of how this has actually affected their family. And the family part is really important, but I'm just going to read you this again. And I read it this morning. I think it comes down to the conclusion. You can have hundreds of pages, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the conclusion. And it was Ethan and Hilla's conclusion that I was drawn to immediately, having not read the lawyer's declaration, Rom's declaration, or their declaration yet. And it is scary. Their employees, one of them were falsely reported to ICE. They've lost many relationships, both personal and professional, due to false accusations they have spread about us.
He's the man. So true. Just burping like a king. Nah, my stomach is rumbling super hard right now. I'm hungry for something, but I don't know what. Guess I need to drink more water.
Us, our free children, have suffered as well, and not just from the DCFS investigation. So remember, this is a family, and what pains me, after reading it all, what kind of stuck with me is what I made a video about in the morning. As soon as I saw that, I was like, you know what? That's the stuff that sticks with you, is that they can't take their kids on play dates. That's crazy, right? And that they lost relationships, personal and private. We're no longer comfortable taking them on play dates, as our presence would threaten the safety of innocent children and their parents. The H3 Snark mod's imaginary fears are our daily reality. Yeah, it is exactly this. Their fears of being doxxed or their personal information coming out is exactly their reality, right? What they're fearing is, oh, coworkers won't like me, personal and family relationships might break, business relationships.
I do have to say that argument as well is just so cowardly to just be like, oh, I don't want people to know my actual thoughts and opinions. People are gonna dislike me. I was having a debate with my family, and there was a point where I was like, you know what? I'll admit, I was like, oh, I'm wrong on this point. I'll concede this point. And they're like, no, we're not saying you're wrong. And I was like, no, why would I care if you think that I'm wrong? What I want to be is right. So correct me if you think that I'm wrong and prove me wrong. I will do the same. If I think that you're wrong, we will prove each other wrong. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're not open to new ideas. And you should probably rethink that, because that's just a regressive mindset that will diminish society. OMG, y'all, I got this electrolyte drink the other day because I'm sick, and I swear to God, it tasted exactly like Pink Whitney vodka, and I almost threw up right there and then. Like, you mean like it felt... Oh, I'm not subscribed to LUS. To LUS. It tasted like the alcohol? Or like it tasted like the flavoring of the Pink Whitney? Do you know what vodka is, Internet Tough Guy? We do a little trolling. No, this is really ridiculous, though, because... I mean, it's justified that other parents would feel this way and would be like, oh, I want to make sure my kids are safe. But it is just sad, because it's like they shouldn't be put in this position, especially because they like are decent people that don't need SWAT or I was about to say ICE, because I saw ICE up here. They don't need SWAT or CPS or any other like agency coming to their home randomly while there's little children about. Yeah. But yes, they've also falsely reported to ICE one of our employees. Love? Question mark?
I might not get hired again. Now, the second part, which I'm not Jewish, so I don't have the knowledge to explain.
It was lemonade flavored and had the exact aftertaste. Ooh. We all have some Pink Whitney related trauma, so true. Remember to zap that like button. Thanks, Alex.
Explain this, but I
place like
I do feel, from an outsider, I'm actually Chinese, that Chinese American, of course, that I do think they're being targeted because they're Jewish. So I went to NYU. NYU is, you will make a lot of amazing Jewish friends at NYU if you go. I recommend going. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had.
NYU Jewish hotspot. Some people trembled when they heard that. Other people were like, oh, okay, interesting. I didn't know that. Some people just started quaking in their boots. They said NYU. Everything got blurry for them. Everything started going in and out of focus.
Had in my life in college. And I do think it is partially, I don't know what percentage of the abuse is because they are Jewish. And I don't want to get into this dialogue because this is not, because I don't really have anything smart to add to the dialogue other than
I don't want to talk about this because kind of agree. Imagine that's what he says. He's like, I don't want to get into that part because on that aspect, I actually... He's like, we're talking about the copyright here, though. Jewish flashbang? What? Yeah, that's what. Oh, that's what you were saying, because I said their vision started going in and out. Saying it like that sounds crazy though. Okay. Okay. No, I think about that sometimes. Like you just imagine somebody just like at work, like you're working, and then they're like your manager's like, "Hey guys, so I just want to let everybody know we're having a diversity week," and you don't know it, but one of your coworkers, they just started hearing like, they're like they just got really bad like tinnitus. They're just, just from the word, like they just hear diversity. They hear like we're doing Pride Month at the store. You go, what? The idea of it's just so comical, but you know that actually happens to some people. They're like, what? Their blood pressure rises. LMAO, I'm sorry. I felt bad after typing it. It's okay. You're all good.
In as a observant, I do think H3 Snark has shown that they are, some of them, I mean, again, how many moderators are there actually? There's always the question of how many of these people are there and how many accounts did each of them own. I'll just say this, I don't feel comfortable going beyond saying that I do feel like they have a point about the anti-Semites. They delight in acting in bad faith, since they seek not to persuade by sound argument, but to intimidate and disconcern. If you press them too closely, they will abruptly fall silent, lawfully indicating by some phrase that the time for argument is past. That's been my take on H3 Snark as well. You win an argument with them. Why are you arguing? That time has passed. They paint themselves as the victims. It's very scary, the legal loops, and it's very scary that they're being confronted by complete strangers claiming they advocate and participate in the genocide of Palestinians. Due to the constant threats we have received, we are both seeking concealed carry permits to defend ourselves and our children. We no longer do live events out of fear for our safety and the safety of our employees. This is life-changing stuff. This is
Ethan and Hila about to be strapped up. See, where I live, we have very lax laws on guns. It's actually pretty bad. Like, you don't even need to do any transfers. You can literally just like hand them over and be like, here you go. And then now that person owns that gun. And then also you don't have to, like, in some states you have to like separate the ammo from the actual firearm and then place them in separate places in your vehicle. You can, without a permit, where I live, you can, without a permit, have a loaded pistol, like a loaded gun with one in the chamber on you, concealed, in your car driving, and that's it. You just have to tell the cop when they ask you, got any weapons? Yeah, I'm strapped up. Gun laws definitely need a bit of a reform. See, and I think if anybody tells you like, nah, we need like more lax gun laws, I think you just have to start like making them understand, like, we already have restrictions. You can't own a fucking belt-fed 50 caliber, like, you know what I mean, like machine gun. You can't own that. You can't own that. You can't own an RPG. You can't own any type of a rocket launcher or grenade or explosive. Like, there's certain laws that we have on the types of weapons that we're allowed to own, possess, and carry on our person. And those restrictions should be put in place to protect people more so. Because, yes, we think that in America, we assume the guns are there to protect us. But that also started when we had, like, muskets. They had to reload with fucking gunpowder and shit. Took like a full minute before you popped another one off. If you try to do that in modern day, bro, I'm already halfway down the block. You reload that, bro, I'm gone. I've already cut a corner and we're straight. You ain't getting me with no musket. When I was in California, I had a gun training guy show me his illegal gun that he bought off a cop friend, basically to brag to us. We were there for lessons from him. Where I live, you have to inform the police and give a planned route to and from where you are going if you are traveling with the handgun. Wow, that's kind of crazy. I can own whatever I want. Yeah, I can own a nuclear warhead, exactly. No, like that's the whole point. Is like you think, yeah, I think every citizen should have the right to own a rocket launcher, a nuclear warhead, anything. I should be able to mount a belt-fed 50 caliber machine gun onto my home for defense against intruders. Someone steps over my property line, I will liquefy them. That's my second favorite Tim Pool quote, right after "It's not my fault, it's everyone else." That one's my favorite, I think, because you hear it in his voice that he understands what he's saying is so like sad. I think at the end of the day, you could say like, "Oh, it's hilarious, it's this, it's that." It's sad. Oh no, I'm not single. I realized I'm not the problem. It's not my fault. It's everyone else. That's why I'm not married. That's why I'm bald.
Stupid sexy Hassan. Why do all the girls like him?
Even when it's not relevant, it still is relevant. My rocket launcher is bolted to the top of my Kia Soul. My rocket launcher actually has got a switch on it. I put a switch. I was the first guy to put a switch on a rocket launcher. Better watch out. I thought it was so funny. Who was it? Fuck, I can't remember. People were talking about the assassin who killed the murderer, who assassinated Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson. It re-emerged an old image of an old Chicago I don't remember if he's a rapper or just a gang member, but it was Tyler Robinson with a rocket launcher. Or I think it might have been an RPG. Or no, he had a... It was this one. And then, what was it? Rocket launcher, Chicago. And all the people on Chiracology were comparing it to this image of Rondo number 9. Like, imagine just owning that. That's crazy. He's at like some kind of event, and like, you know, it's probably this guy's, and you gotta take a picture with it. Rondo number 9 actually just had that shit in his house. You think that's good? You think it's good to have this? Well, no, but he got that. He had to have gotten that illegally. He had to have gotten this illegally, right? I'm not showing it enough. It's kind of blocked by the thing. Yeah, it's from he's from O Block. It's Rondo number 9. How do you even get that? Illegally. The black market, you can get anything. No, I've seen videos on like Twitter of dudes with holding fucking grenades, and I'm just like what's going on? Sometimes it's crazy. Again, we went on another tangent. My bad. But again, what we originally went on the tangent because of is because, again, it's terrible that they're being, because I mean, as we know, I'm making jokes about it. Like we talked about, the place that I live, like where I live, kind of has laxer gun laws. I think I probably have a laxer view on guns than Ethan and Hila. They seem to be like I think the reformations that we would probably make would probably be different in ways, but I think that even so, they feel it necessary at this point to like have a concealed carry permit. Is pretty crazy, and I mean it's not crazy that they're thinking that. It's crazy that they're right, and it's because people like like they've already been like in public and run into people like dating and money, and obviously he isn't going to just shoot them or kill their kid or whatever like that. I don't believe that he's like going to do that, but I do think that it shows that they're like, they're around. They're people. Guante. Captain, do you have ADHD? LOL. I don't know. Never been diagnosed. Never even tried. Probably something like that. If it means anything, my legs are literally doing this right now. They do it the entire time I'm streaming. Maybe that's why my calves are so good. Maybe that's why I have decent calves, because I'm just constantly going like this underneath the table, underneath my desk.
This is the stuff that H3 Snark mods are most afraid of impacting their lives. They've already impacted in a quite negative way Ethan and Hiller. So I don't want to make this video. I don't upload videos like this too often at night. But I'm picking.
Have I tried crack? No, I've only ever done. I've smoked weed, drank alcohol, done cocaine, LSD, mushrooms. I think that's it. Oh, and then one time I did fake acid, and that was terrible. I thought I was going to die. Never take a research chemical. Make sure you get your LSD from a trusted source. Probably don't go around getting LSD. I wouldn't. I won't recommend that on a stream. But if you are gonna do it, I don't even know if you can do. Do they have like testing for LSD? Can you test for LSD? LSD testing kits. Because I know they have a lot of drug testing kits. Spot test? Oh, they do. Okay. Okay, so they do. Okay. No, but one time I did a research chemical with my friends. Basically, acid is made by random people in labs. And that's why you need to make sure the people who are making it understand the chemical compositions that they're putting together. Because one time I did it, and usually when I've done acid, this is my personal experience, I get like so much energy. Like literally, I'm up for 12 hours. Usually that's how long it lasts. But for those 12 hours, I could literally like keep walking. I could walk like the whole time. I'll go to the mall, I'll go out with friends, go skating, go do stuff. I know a lot of people say, oh, I could never go outside. That's not my personal experience, but I get a ton of energy. It makes me like super amped. This time I did it with my friends, and I swear we became super lethargic. So much so that there was a school with a park in front of it and a park like behind it. And we walked from one park to the other. We had to walk kind of around the school through the neighborhood. And we like couldn't make it. There was like a point where I was just like and like I felt like I was gonna keel over. And by the time we got, because what we were doing was trying to get back to this other park because it was closer to where we were like, all like staying at. So I was like, okay, let's sit here for a bit and then we'll go home. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, if I pass out or anything, just call 911. Because I legitimately feel like I'm gonna pass out. Like my heart isn't beating fast. My heart literally is beating like deep. Like it feels like it's just going like really slow but really hard. And I could just feel it in my chest, and I'm like, and eventually I come to a little bit, and I'm able to go inside. We go inside, and It wears off in probably within 2 to 3 hours, which again is completely unlike LSD. And so that's how we knew that this was just some fucked up research chemical that my other buddy had got. And I was like, I'm never getting from your plugs ever again. And that's the story. Good coke smells like a 2-stroke engine. Sounds like you've done everything but crack, kind of, yeah. I've never done meth, that either. Meth's bad. I also I've done salvia too. How could I forget that? I accidentally took mescaline in high school. Actually, I didn't even take it. Some kid jammed it into my mouth in the hallway, and I didn't know what it was till later. Oh my god, that's terrible. Yeah, now that I think about it, I think so. It's been like almost 30 years. I forgot till now. I knew the guy, but obviously that doesn't make it better. I'm just now realizing how fucked up that was. No, yeah, that's very fucked up. I'm sorry that happened to you. I mean, if you don't associate it as like a super terrible thought, there's no reason to like overdo it in your own brain. But that person was fucked up at the very least. That person was not a true friend. Any drug I don't recommend at all, pills. Don't do any pills. Because that reminded me of a story. I have done Xanax a few times too. I had a friend that was addicted to Oxycontin for a while, and that's not good either. My dad actually took Oxycontin for back pain because he had surgeries on his back, and he got addicted to it for a little bit and had to like come off. And he said the like getting off of it was super difficult. But I had a friend in high school who was addicted to Oxycontin, and he had some time coming off of it too. But I think I think he did it and got off of it using ketamine, and then I think he just got really into doing ketamine. But I've done when I've done Xanax, the one time I've done Xanax and I felt it, I guess, was I was at school when I was a freshman in high school, and this girl comes up to me and like at a table with a bunch of other kids and goes, "Look what I have," and shows me a Xanax in her hand, and I just go, and I took it out of her hand and just put it in my mouth, and she was like, "Oh, give it back," and I was just like, "No." I don't know why I did this, but I just took it, and then I didn't take it at first. I like hid it under my tongue and she didn't notice, and then I took it. And then I had theater, but it was perfect because I was in a play, and the character that I was playing was supposed to be a drunk guy. And I remember I went through the whole scene. I was singing a song. I was literally a drunk Viking. I was singing a song. And I was a drunk Viking, and I was on Xanax, and I don't remember how I did during the performance. All I remember is afterwards, during the backstage bit, one of the girls was like, "Are you okay?" And then afterwards, my teacher, the note she gave me was, "You don't need to act that drunk." And I remember I was like, "Oh damn, I must have been laying it on pretty thick." But then after high school, I had done Xanax one other time, and they were just like the smaller, like I think they call them footballs. And it didn't do anything. And I remember I talking to somebody after, and I was like, "Hey, we didn't feel anything like from it." Like just talk, like not like being like, "Oh, we regret it" or whatever, but literally being like, "We didn't feel anything. What do you think?" And a friend of ours was being like, "No, yeah, you have to take a bunch to feel anything." And I was like, I don't want to take any drugs that the line between, like, there's a very like thin line between taking just enough and taking too much. Like, you know what I mean? If those two are like close together, I'd rather not. Yeah, I was method acting. I know it's unhinged. I don't know why I did that. um don't do salvia. I used to mix salvia with my weed all day long. See, I only did salvia one time, and it was 20 times extract. And all I remember having a beanie over my eyes. I lifted it up at one point, and I thought I was doing like that exercise where you kick your legs up and someone pushes your legs back down. But then I asked the person afterwards, and they were like, "No, that didn't happen." So I was like, "Oh, so that was fake too." But then I had the beanie over my eyes, and I swear I started flying down a hallway, and I was flying down this hallway, and on either side of me were Russian nesting. It was conveyor belts that were in infinity signs. So they were conveyor belts in the form of infinity signs with Russian nesting dolls on them. So it was like they kept looping. And as they were looping around, these Russian nesting dolls were these people talking to me, and they were saying, "You need to get closer. You need to get to the end of the hall. Keep going, keep going." And I was like, okay. And it wasn't like I was scared, like, oh, I need to help these people or anything. It was legitimately just like this encouragement, like, keep going. You need to do this. Keep going. And I don't know. I think I've always just been the type of person that lets myself be. I let myself go in those types of situations, and I don't feel a need to like cling on to reality or something like that, because I know what is real and what is fake. I know that that was just like, something within my mind. Maybe it was me tapping into the spiritual realm or something, but to the best of my knowledge, it's just me, messing with chemicals in my brain that have these certain effects. I do think that there's possibility in the the other side of it or whatever, but it's not necessarily my belief. My upstairs neighbor did fentanyl for the first time, didn't feel it from the first hit, took a second hit and OD'd and died later. Damn, that's actually crazy. I'm on a safe, doctor-regulated drug cocktail to keep my mental health in check. I am now too paranoid of drug interactions to even drink anymore. I mean, if it's working for you and you don't need to drink. Because, I mean, theoretically, if it's a good cocktail that's working effectively, should you even want to drink? Should the proclivity even come up? I've taken bong rips of salvia a few times and never had a weird experience. We live. Oh, we live. Oh, we find that they went live. Well, we still got some stuff to talk about, so we're going to finish this, and then I have one other video to look at. I'm surprised they're on time. But thanks so much for watching, everybody that stopped in. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to keep going with this and then another video as well for all the people that aren't members to the H3 member stream. But yes, let's go.
Up my 1-year-old daughter, and part of the reason that we go to daycare is then we can meet other parents. There's Halloween events. It's like fun events they do for parents, so you can meet other parents, go on play dates. The safety of your children is absolutely paramount, but they're the social activities. So the fact that they have Hilla, Ethan have to change how they would normally interact with other parents with children is very alarming. I think it has a lot to do with H3 Snark. And if you're a parent, if you're a family, then it shouldn't affect the kids. You always want to keep the kids out of the situation. The fact that they have to consider the weapon permit for the safety of themselves and their children is also a very scary thing to think about, in terms of why would you even want that item in your home with small children if not to protect yourself, right? Because from ongoing harm. The reality shift, and we're going to shift, I promise you we're going to get to the part that really matters, which is what the H3 Snark mods are actually worried about. I think the response is directly, forget Denons, Frogan, Caseytron. They are not the main targets of this lawsuit. The main targets of this lawsuit is very simple. I think if Ethan and Hilla get the names of these individuals, you probably just settle. Frogan, Caseytron, Denons, even. Once they have the names of these individuals, do they really need to go on? I mean, you think about it. What are these H3 Snark mods so afraid of? They're so afraid of getting their names published and having what their behavior has been to Ethan and Hilla come back to bite them. That's what they're afraid of. So let's take a look at the very, very end of Jane Doe. That would be the H3 Snark mods. their actual response, and it parallels. This situation has already taken a serious toll on my mental and physical health. Sleep has become uneasy, and I find myself waking up in the middle of night with the fear that clients and their audience have found out who I am. Activities that once brought me joy now fill me with dread. I no longer feel safe online, and I carry an
those activities being active harassment, like consistently over an extended period of time. I can't have my fun anymore.
ongoing fear that my loved ones may suffer because of my variety of spaces unrelated to H3 podcasts. And I have had to permanently step away from these spaces out of fear. I've had to remove online profiles that held precious memories, and I feel that I may never again be able to participate in social media without fear of being discovered. The lawsuit has had a significant financial impact on me. I'm not a multi-millionaire at Los Angeles. So just take a look at this and see how closely it parallels to what Ethan and Hilla's declaration. So this is the Jane Doe H3 Snark Mod declaration. It's almost identical, right, to what Hilla and Ethan Klein are explaining. Their employees were reported ICE. One of their employees were reported ICE. They don't feel comfortable doing live events. They don't feel comfortable with strangers approaching them. They don't feel comfortable taking their kids on play dates. I'm a hardworking individual with a full-time job and a modest income. I'm not wealthy, and I have already had to use funds I've saved for personal future events to cover legal expenses. This has been emotionally devastating and has placed me under immense financial stress. I do not want to be a burden on my partner or my family. If my identity were to be revealed, I worry that I too will be harassed publicly by Ethan and Hilla and their fan base. But like, what would the solution be? The solution would just not to harass Ethan and Hilla, right? Like, when do we live in a world where actions don't have consequences? If you're afraid of the consequences of your actions, right, your name being revealed, if the only thing stopping people from reporting you to your employer, it must have been a really bad action to begin with. In the past, the client's detractors have frequently been featured in Ethan's Instagram stories. Ethan has also featured his friends' detractors on his Instagram stories and has gone so far as posting wedding photos of their family and friends. Like, isn't that what you guys do? Like, I don't know. Am I like misunderstanding this? Isn't that the point of H3 Snark, to make sure that Ethan or anyone who supports Ethan feels like they can't support him anymore? Because then there'll be victims of H3 Snark. Like, I'm like not understanding. Like it's really weird when you take these two responses, and again, they're located in the same area. So forget the lawyer. We can cover the lawyer stuff, the legal stuff later. But just from a human perspective, the very end. So where is this located? This is located at the very end of the Jane Doe's response. Where is the Hilla and Ethan statements about their family and how they're worried about their family and their children located? Exactly the same location at the very end of their declaration. I'm extremely afraid of what could happen to my family, friends, and place of work. What? Like, isn't this like, I fear that the harassment from Klein's fan base, like, I'm not, I hope the judge can see this. Like, I mean, I think if the judge has been able to read it all, now this is another 300-ish pages to add to the 740 pages they have to read and the hours of live stream videos. It's crazy to me how you can post and you talk shit about somebody and their family and their, sending scolds and all this stuff and mental health, but when it comes to you understand how this could affect your life. Oh, I might lose my job. Oh, a family member may not talk to me anymore. Oh, maybe I can't take my kids to a play date anymore, or maybe the daycares. I can't take my kids to daycares because I'm going to check them out. This is stuff that I worry about as a dad as well. Right now, I'm single dadding it. My significant other is in China for the next month. So I really do worry about it. I do understand the importance of community and play dates and things of that nature. That's why I enrolled her in daycare, so we could do like, for instance, they're having like a Halloween parade. Well, the parents come and they can take pictures with their kids and stuff.
I remember doing that as a kid. I won best costume for my Where's Waldo costume.
Yeah, I bought a Halloween costume for my daughter because I want her to participate in that, and it would be cool to see all the kids in their costumes, right? Because it's a community social event. The fact that Ethan and Hilla feel they can't do that or do it to the extent they want to or they normally would because of H3 Snark is exactly what H3 Snark is worried about. Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, it's like, wait, so when you think of how this could impact you, you have a hissy fit, but you've been doing this the whole time to other people. It's like, wait, is there like a disconnect logically here? Like, is there something that I know? I hope the judge can see, and I would call it irony, but it's really something more malicious than that. I guess it's selfishness, right? It's pure and utter selfishness where you feel you can destroy someone's life, but when they try to destroy your life by just making your name public, and that's all that would need to happen in this case, I feel like all the other lawsuits are very minimal, would just go to settlement if they could get the names. You don't see like, so if your name becomes public and your life becomes destroyed, is it because you were a really nice person, or was it because you were caring about it, right? Like,
well, I mean, it's legitimately just the idea of it's FAFO, fuck around and find out. I mean, legitimately, don't commit crimes if you don't want to face litigation. Like, they could have kept doing all their little shit, all their little hating, but it literally shows, like, the whole point is, yeah, you derive so much joy from this, but legitimately, you've become so invested that you end up committing crimes in like the pursuit of some weird goal.
There's a lot of Karens in news lately, and this feels like one of those scenarios where you have behaved poorly for a very long time, destroying other people's lives wantonly. Wantonly is the vocab word I'm choosing to use. And now you have to face the consequences, potential consequences of your action. You understand how it affects you, but you never considered how it affected the people you were attacking and hurting. But you understand how it affects you. Like, what would be the term that we would use for an individual like this? I think the term would be called a snarker.
Damn, that hit. That kind of hit right there. That last little bit. He's right. I mean, it is just kind of like playing, like, because at the end of the day, right? Like, here's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, the H3 podcast is like a niche community. Its fan base, its subscriber base is less than 1% of the American population spread across however many different countries. So, like, realistically, the fan base itself is very small. There's probably, obviously more than that, people that might be tangentially aware. But to become so invested for the purpose of hating is no purpose. It's unpurposeful. Thanks, Gizmo. I appreciate it. We have one last video to check out here about Sam Pepper. I don't know if this is just like a re-upload or if this is like a commentary on it. I was trying to skim through it. It seemed like it was just the clip. But Sam Pepper hurts innocent girl with fireworks in India. And but yes, Sam Pepper has been banned on Kick. Which is like, just the flavor of the week, you know. This week it was Sam Pepper.
So Scampegger started his new Liddy India TikTok adventure on a holiday.
Oh, it's AI. Is it going to just play the clip after? I literally skipped ahead and then skimmed through it trying to look for more AI, like a voice. And I just saw the clip, so now I'm confused. I'm wondering if it's just in the beginning here. I was just trying to find the clip.
Where they set off fireworks, Sam gets the brilliant idea to start setting it off towards a family.
No, look, they're getting us here, look. Look, they're sending one our way. There is one coming this way. I've got him. Oh! Bro, he whizzed past his head. It hit him in the back, bro. It bounced off his back. Oh, look at his back. Yeah. Bro, that's where it hit him and it bounced off his back and went into the right air. Yeah. Okay. Right, light me, someone. I'm gonna run, DVR, I'm gonna run right into friendly territory. I'm gonna run with you. I'm gonna run right into enemy territory. Okay, I'm running with you. What is this? Just a shooting thing. All right, let's go. Oh my God! Oh my God! Headshot! Bro! That's right!
No, actually hitting people with fireworks is crazy. Like, I know sometimes people will shoot, like, Roman candles at each other and shit like that, but, like, I don't know, I feel like there is a difference with, like, a bottle rocket type of thing. Like, maybe they're all bad, maybe they all can lead to crazy injuries, but this just, like, seems beyond crazy. Like, if you're in another country, bro, why risk something? Like, just have some fun. Let other people light off the fireworks and you be talking to everybody. You show it off. See, I think IRL streamers forget that, like, you need to be, like, super animated, super, like, bringing people in up until something interesting is happening. Then you need to play the straight man. You're the straight man in the crazy world or whatever. I forget, you know, what do they call that? What do they call that type of duo? The comedic foil of the straight man and the... What's the other half of that? The stooge? Oh no, the stooge is usually the straight man. I guess just the comic. The funny man and the straight man. Just calling him the funny man just seems kind of weak. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But you get what I'm saying. Play the straight man in these type of moments.
You ran them off the block. They ran off the block. Yo, someone might have died. Yo, they're running, Sam. It was bad, right? Okay. Okay. I thought we were having a war.
No, they're all with the family.
Oh, sorry!
Oh my God! They are coming with the family.
Sorry!
Oh no! Oh no!
I thought we were having a war.
Yeah, no, I thought because they.
What are you talking about? I thought we were having a war. Why would you think that? I honestly didn't see a single one come their way. He kept saying, they're sending one this way, they're sending one this way. He shot one, it accidentally hit that guy in the back and went the wrong direction. None ever came towards them. Then he went and got another one ready, lit it, and then shot it at them.
They kept shooting at us.
Yeah.
When?
Maybe they were just shooting and they didn't know how to aim.
It's okay.
It's okay?
Oh, really?
Really?
I hit?
Yeah. Oh no.
It's okay or not? It's okay.
Ice problem? Oh no, Sam.
No, they're saying it was bright.
Bright, yeah, like very light. The light was maybe Deepak! Deepak!
Wait, where is Deepak?
He said I'm out.
Why did Deepak disappear?
Nah, he said I'm out after this. Yeah, Deepak's gone back home. He's just.
Deepak said I'm not.
Our eyes has gone.
No, they haven't.
One eye has gone.
No, it hasn't.
No, how? I think they're pretending, but one eye has gone.
You think they're pretending?
I think they're pretending, but I think they're.
So he's telling him someone just lost an eye. One eye is gone. I don't know if it's true, but one eye is gone. That's what they're saying. I don't know, but that's what they're saying. One eye is gone.
Actually, one eye has gone.
No.
No.
Seriously. I'm not joking.
Okay, never mind.
No, I don't
But
think
they were firing at us as well. I just
They shoot you
play
up.
with them.
You're just playing.
It was accident. Like I didn't
Deepak?
think we actually hit. Can you go and see what happens? Go and check Deepak. I come with you.
You go with those.
No.
Check out. No, you go. Yeah, let's go.
Without the stream.
No stream?
Time to flee.
Oh, sake, Sam.
What? We fire with the cannon you gave me.
The one you gave me?
I'm just shoot in this direction. Go film DVR.
Okay. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not filming. Oh no. Oh no. Letty, don't film. Letty.
It's just so fucked up too, because they're not thinking don't film because of it being Saturn. They're literally just thinking don't film because they know that they'll get banned. They know that they'll get in trouble if they're filming like a child. Because apparently, from this article, what it says. Second, let me just. Said it was an 8-year-old girl, but British content creator and Kick streamer Sam Pepper is again in a center of controversy. Involved in a firework injury. While celebrating the Festival of Lights in India, Pepper was seen live streaming as locals launched fireworks across the neighborhood street. The British streamer decided to join the activity, lighting and firing his own fireworks towards another group celebrating nearby, as we just saw. Following the viral clip, another Reddit user shared an update claiming that a girl from the group hit by the firework was injured. In a follow-up video, a local approached Pepper and allegedly told him that on one of this is just relaying what the clip was. And what he said on Twitter was in India tonight with another big group firing small firecrackers back and forth at each other. Seems stupid now I'm writing this, but one of the groups on the other side got hit by a cracker I shot and got a cut above the eyebrow. I feel terrible. We sent someone with them to get them checked out and made sure all costs were paid. They got a paper stitch and now are back home.
But don't end the full countdown. Don't film. It's not, because it's actually serious. Oh no.
What's happening? Are they Sam?
No, it's bad. It's bad. I don't know what's happening, but it's bad.
The cops on him?
No, I think it's bad. I think it's bad, Letty. Oh no. They're putting this person on a bike out of here. They put the person on the bike and they're gone. Oh no.
The person, did they get injured?
I can't even. Yeah. They're basically saying that but the person's gone now, and Sam said don't film, and he gave me his mic.
Oh my god.
So I think it's literally the person got carried out.
Right above her eyebrow, she got a.
Okay, so it's not at the end of the world. The eye isn't gone.
No, it's not in her
but
eye. Like right above her eyebrow, they slit, but it's still bad.
Yeah, it's still bad, but
it's still not great. She's going to hospital, but they cut like here.
Oh, for sake, bro. Oh no.
But Deepak's talking to them to make sure that they're like good with the hospital.
Like the hospital bills and stuff. Okay, that's okay.
Obviously, we're gonna pay for the hospital.
Yeah, no, pay for the hospital bill. But however, they were shooting on this side, and if they shouldn't have done
at each other, and it was just
it happens. Like if you don't shoot fireworks, like
I just love them really trying to fight. This really is just like a nothing. You shouldn't have been doing it. You're a dumbass for doing it. I don't think it's like the end of the world. I imagine this stuff probably in these types of like scenarios of people using fireworks like in big events. This type of stuff happens all the time. So I'm not necessarily like, oh, you're an evil person, but I think that he's just again being a negligent dumbass as always. Sam Pepper, bad prankster, bad streamer, bad person.
Each other and then expect nothing can happen. Like they were shooting actively and they were throwing it right next to us.
It's bad that it happened.
Yeah, no, it's obviously bad.
Regardless of either side.
No, it's really bad. Okay.
And everyone cheered when you did it too.
Yeah, everyone.
The whole side went into war mentality. This whole side was like, woo.
He's going with Deepak upstream.
Maybe we should.
Family.
This end of this clip seems pointless, but yeah, it like I said, it doesn't seem like it's the actual end of the world, but it does seem like it was a fucked up scenario where, like I'm saying, you gotta if you're in another country, just enjoy the culture. Don't think that you need to become the center of attention and like become like I don't know. It's a weird vibe. But it is Sam Pepper after all, so what do you expect? I guess he'll probably come on whatever other platforms there are in the next few months. He always comes back, doesn't he? Like a bad itch. But that's going to be it for today. I really do appreciate everybody that stopped in. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I've started doing some Tuesday streams, some Saturday streams, some other stuff. Trying to get a little bit more topics here and there, you know. Trying to talk about some different stuff. But yeah, I really do appreciate everybody that stopped in. This is Cap and Quasar signing off.